What's up, guys? Go back to our video where last night we got the first trailer for Monday, which is going to be the first MCU show of 2022, releasing on Disney Plus on March 30th, and with Oscar Isaac playing Marc Spector, aka Moon, and in the show with Marc Spector having the dissociative identity disorder with multiple personalities inside of him, like we saw in the trailer, with Ethan Hawke's character in the show as well. It's probably playing like a villain as well, but within the show, like with the Marvel really like going down this route with these dark and brutal characters such as Moon Knight, this show is going to feel more like a Marvel Netflix show, kind of like a Daredevil, kind of more Indiana Jones type of vibes as well. And plus with the show, it's already my most anticipated show of 2022. With this trailer, it looked absolutely so good. So in this video, this will be my full breakdown of the first trailer for Moon Knight, going over the Easter eggs and things they may have missed, and how this could connect to other things in the future. So let's get into it. So the trailer starts with a shot of Marc Spector as he is in his bed, and then we can see that he is locking his door and taping it as well. And then we see him chaining himself to his own bed, and possibly with a lock, a combination. And next we see him playing with the Rubik's cube, and then he gets a voice inside his head, and with him saying like he has a sleeping disorder. And then we have a voice inside of Marc like says, "Well, welcome to your awake." And then he like next he wakes up probably from like a bad dream, and then he lands on the floor with his foot chained to his bed. And so this is the beginning with Marc having multiple the dissociative identity disorder, having a sleeping disorder as well. Then we see Marc going into work, and we can see that he's going into a museum. It says ancient Egypt, and with him going to work in a museum, this is probably like a similar location that we saw in Turtles, and it's on the other side of town. Plus with the Windman working there, and plus and spoilers if you haven't seen Turtles and its post-credit scene, we see him getting the Black Knight sword, and with them being recruited by a Blade, and with this have it like a similar like Black Knight connection in the show. We could see a connection in the show, and then like someone asked him like if he's a use like someone who works there, and then Marc gives his name. It's called like Steve. And what this means is that he has multiple identities inside of him. He has like multiple personalities with different names, such as like Steve and other names. And then we see Marc back in his apartment, and we see it is dark. And then for 1 second, we see like flash for like a half a second, and we get our first look at the suit of a Moon Knight suit, and then he turns the lights back on. The thing that he just being paranoid. And like he's gonna go insane with like things are now haunting him, and then like with him like being Moon Knight. Then we get our very first look at Khonshu, and now Khonshu is an ancient Egyptian god of the moon, and its name means traveler. And with Khonshu, it's been a part of ancient Egyptian mythology, and it's had a conjunction with the Marc Spector for years and in the comics. And with Khonshu, he's the one who gave Marc Spector his powers and also controls his consciousness as well. So that's how maybe Moon was born. That's how Marc became Moon in the first place. And in the comics, that's where also Moon Knight and Khonshu work together. And then we see Khonshu turning into a normal person, and then we see Marc stuck in an elevator, which means that stuff is really haunting him, as really is having a dissociative identity and disorder. Stuff is really haunting him, as we're gonna see in this series. Then we see Marc in a museum, and we see some ancient artifacts, and then we see like digging through stuff, and we see like a key with like a keychain, and then a cell phone, and then he flips it open as someone is trying to call him, and then we see an alligator on it, and then someone says to Marc, "Oh my God, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Marc?" And then with Marc saying, "Why would you call me Marc?" And with this is part of these. Again, is dissociative identity, disorder, and he's using up multiple identities and multiple, personalities, and the way that he's talking to, the people using his own identities inside of them. And then we get a look at Ethan Hawke's character, who's going to be named Arthur Harrow, and with him, he's like a cult leader who encourages Mark to embrace his inner darkness. And with this, we could have our villain reveal in this trailer as Arthur Harrow is going to be a cult leader, and this could be the villain of the series, but we're not sure. But with this could be leading to something like very much darker as we head into the series, with him saying like that there's chaos in you, because with Mark, he has like multiple identities and multiple personalities, and that everything is like haunting him. Next, we see Mark hitting his head and probably going insane, and then we see him driving a truck, and as he's driving, he's probably holding a gun in his hand, and then we see someone like falling out of the truck. It's probably be a Mark having another like a personality or like identity inside of him, and then he is falling, and then we see the Egyptian pyramid, and then we see Mark probably looking up at something. And then the trailer ends with him transforming into Moon Knight, and then we see him like in the bathroom in his full Moon Knight suit, and probably like killing a werewolf. It's probably an Anubis in that, which is a werewolf. And then we get our very first full look at the full Moon Knight suit, and with Moon Knight killing a werewolf. This is actually from the Moon Knight comic storyline of Werewolf by Night, and with a synopsis from called the Stalker called Moon Knight, in which it involved Moon Knight actually killing a werewolf. Actually, it involved like someone like named Jack turning into a werewolf, and that like Moon Knight knowing that like Jack was a werewolf, it actually transformed himself into the werewolf, and then Moon Knight actually ended up killing the werewolf, which we see right here in the show. That probably gonna happen in the show as well. And within the series, Moon Knight is also gonna get involved with the werewolves and probably killing them as well. And then we see Moon Knight jumping like out of buildings, and plus with this, how Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel series, that described the show, with like a Moon Knight being like anti, was like a jump out of buildings and getting into fights, which we were seeing right here in this trailer, with a Moon Knight jumping really fast, going from one building to another, and probably getting into fights. So yeah, with this show, it's going to be very intense, with Marvel going down this route with these dark and brutal characters as we head into the future of the MCU, especially with these dark characters. And yeah, for this trailer for Moon Knight, I'm very much looking forward to this series. It's probably be my most anticipated Marvel is a push of 2022, but probably my favorite already, especially with Moon Knight being a dark and brutal character, especially with Marc Spector having multiple identities and multiple personalities inside of him, having a dissociative identity disorder, and plus with the Hawk probably will play like a cult leader in the series who was embracing Mark to his inner darkness. And you can see that this is to take place probably in Egypt, and I can't really see where Marvel goes like down this route, especially with Moon Knight being like a dark and brutal character as we get more and more into the show. So yeah, I can't wait for Moon Knight when it comes out on March 30th, and I am gonna be covering the show in every episode, especially when it comes out on the Disney Plus. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Moon Knight, especially what Oscar Isaac is gonna bring to deliver as Marc Spector, aka Moon Knight. So that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And what are your thoughts on this Moon Knight trailer, and how excited are you for Moon Knight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for future videos. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.